future
Awkwardly L-shaped was the name of my first porno.
One that came with the desk only had a square Allen wrench side. The one that came with the chair also has a Phillips screwdriver side.
Ooh.
So it's much more handy.
So fancy. Okay, here's the YouTube intro in 5, 4, 3.
Hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
Welcome everybody to Durnk Deadlands episode 2.
I already said it. I'm not doing it again.
Okay.
Good evening, brothers.
Here we go. To live and die in Santa Fe.
Here we go again. What's my addiction?
Men. I mean, what?
Buford just I don't quite understand what it's a shot of. I think of his shirt.
His navel.
Okay. I'm having trouble with my light. It keeps flicking on and off, and I'm not happy about it.
I'm sorry.
Because it looks a bit dim today.
You do look a
You
little
look
dim.
a bit dim today.
I think it kind of works though. I mean, you're in a dimly lit, I don't know, New Mexican train thing. So I was really excited about today's episode. So I had a plate of beans to get into the mood.
Speaking of, and I'm sure all the YouTubers out there and Twitchers are going to enjoy this, but I may have to leave once in a while.
Do you have to poof?
We'll see.
We will.
Are you having problems pooping?
Well, I had spicy food.
Poofing.
Poofing.
Poof.
I also am having spicy food. This is Caribbean jerk wings.
Good times. This is
from an Afro-Caribbean restaurant. They're very spicy.
Great episode of running back and forth to the restroom. Fantastic. Hey,
the social distancing has been difficult, but I'm for once glad we're not in the same room.
Who wants to give the recap? Oh!
Me.
That's Mike right there. I mean,
you didn't say nose goes.
Hey, sometimes things just happen. I don't have control over everything, Mike.
All right. Well, keep in mind I wasn't there for half the episode last week, so
it's not that hard. It's not that hard.
So what happened was some guys took over a train by shooting up the front of the train, and then then they got on the train with guns and then threatened us. Chad was like, "Why'd you start shooting them?" And I don't get it.
It's
and
just
so
immediately.
My police officer, whom I'm playing, Chad, I'm going to remind you, I'm a cop.
A cop, you idiot.
Immediately started shooting. Anyway, I started blasting.
Just open fire.
Yeah. And I was in a car with the good Reverend, and he started blasting. And then Carolyn and Dr. Carolyn and...
Coraline?
Dude, I'm going to say what I'm going to say. And Butford over there, they were in different cars. He was indulging he was playing poker, and I think he lost, like bad, like a lot of money.
Yeah, I did lose quite a bit.
And then the guy who won got all shot to hell, I think. So I don't know why he didn't just take his money back, but whatever.
Because the entire car was on fire.
And
because he started the car on fire.
Yeah. And Dr. Carolyn has pocket sand. That's basically what I learned from her character. she is.
It's so pretty.
Well, I did a couple people, but I also saved your ass.
If you so much as look at her the wrong way, you're about to get a buttload of sand right in your corneas.
That is an accurate assessment of my character. Well done.
I get off the train and I start heading to the front to get the train moving again. And Reverend Fullerton follows me like a lost puppy.
The good Reverend, who I should point out to the Reverend, he is a pacifist. Just opened up on some dudes. So there's that. But, he killed some dudes. He took some down, so good for
He
him.
did.
I asked very clearly and very calmly if the rest of the bandits all had lethal intent. And
That's
he drew
not-
his gun.
Do you understand
And
what
pointed it at
pacifism means?
He doesn't understand what pacifist means.
okay.
That's fine.
All right.
The-
I don't believe they were camping. I didn't see them intent at all.
He's doing that thing where he plays with
By the
words
definition of the game, it means you can only act in self-defense.
Oh, Phil, we're just giving you a hard time.
Anyway, sorry, before I was sorely interrupted by everybody. I got the farts already.
Okay, there
So a bunch of us ended up in the front because I got shot up because I wasn't paying entirely attention to what was happening because
Things.
real life was terrible, but so I got shut up, and then Dr. Mrs. Mathis saved me, and then she tried to fix the engine, the boiler on the
Did.
engine.
Fixed it.
Okay. Didn't realize you had an arc welder out there.
Didn't need one. I'm a mad scientist.
Okay. And then I think Buford was still basically lighting people on fire because there's something wrong with that boy.
Actually, I jumped off of the train, mingling with the people, and I've been rifling through the pockets of the dead people.
It's true. He's been looting.
The rogue. Good.
Yep, the rogue. Flootsy bootsying while there is combat.
Stealing stuff from the dead dudes.
Look, I've already killed 5 people.
Wow.
I think I'm entitled to.
No, you just need to end there. I've already killed 5 people.
5 people.
That-
Okay, now it's time to get into character.
So yes, as we left off with 3 of our heroes on the engine, waiting for the steam to build up. One rifling through the pockets of the dead people, and all of you hearing a blood-curdling screech. I will try to imitate that screech now.
You got noise gated instantaneously.
Totally.
Let's try this again.
Gollum?
Something like that. I
Okay.
can't do the actual sound. The sound is much more horrifying. So
There's a video editor and his 40s out there.
everyone needs to roll a gut check, please.
Go check time. Come on, it's in. And welcome
That it
to
is.
Japan.
Oh. Yes. Yes.
I don't
Okay.
need dice. Look at
Oh,
my character sheet.
oh. It seems as though both the Reverend and the Doctor find themselves...
Uh-oh, and me.
Oh! The 3 of you find yourselves so afraid that you're unable to everything goes a little fuzzy. The heart begins to beat. You are all now in a fear-induced, shaken state. Let me remind you, really remind me, that you do have, you have chips. Fate chips.
No, we
that
don't. You
may
didn't give
use.
us any.
Exactly my point. Let's remedy that, shall we?
No, no, you didn't give us.
Okay, here we go. I remind you that there are white chips, there are red chips and blue chips in here,
All right.
and we know what those are. We're going to start with Buford. Here we go, Buford.
Buford Tiberius Lithalium.
You have a white chip. You have a You have another red chip.
Yeah, the same last week.
All right. Well, that's weird, huh? All right. Next up, let's go down to Mr. Gunn, Deputy Gunn. White chip.
3 whites. Here we go.
Blue chip.
Hey, must be a monkey.
And a white chip.
Yay! Why boo boo why? Woo boo.
The Good Reverend.
Yes.
A white chip. A white chip. Ooh, and a white chip. 3 white chips for the Good Reverend. And Dr. Cora.
Mm-hmm.
A white chip. A blue chip.
Ooh.
And another white chip. All right. Does everyone have you have note of your chips?
Yes.
I do.
Right, I'm now going to have my chips,
Woo boo boo.
which really absolutely doesn't matter that all my chips end up just being white chips because, that's it is. All right. We now have chips. You may use those for many, many different things. Do you need a reminder of what you might use those for?
Please. Not only for us, but for the audience.
Lovely idea.
We know. You just gotta tell the audience.
All right.
I remember how to play this game.
All chips. Okay, so let's see here. Where's my cheat sheet? Because I don't have all that shit memorized either.
I've got it up if you want me to.
Yeah, if you got it up, go.
Right. The white chips work like normal bennies. They're for re-rolls, soak, wounds, change, shaken, and other things. Red negates a critical fail roll or can be used as a white chip. If used as a red chip, Marshall draws 1 chip from the hat. I don't know what you do with that, Marshall, but that's what it says.
I get an extra Benny if you guys use a red
All
chip.
right. And then blue is the same as a red or white, but the Marshal does not draw if it's played.
Correct. So blue. So essentially, the red and blue chips, you get to do what extra? You get to re-roll
You get to re-roll a critical fail.
a critical fail. Correct. Very good.
I just realized that I should have. I fucked up. I should have named my character Marshall. And I could have just been arguing this entire time about I get to do all the stuff you get to do.
Marshall. All right. So we have chips. The 3 of you are shaken. I will remind you, you can use a fate chip to immediately remove shaken state if you wish, or you can roll to do that on your turn.
And do remind me, if you will, to roll to remove shaken status. Is that a vigor roll or is that spirit?
A shaken status roll is a vigor roll.
Vigor roll.
I'm gonna use with my white chip.
Very good.
I will as well
Very good.
use a white chip.
I'll follow the crowd in this case.
All right. You've all used the fate chip to remove your shaken. You are now fully aware that somewhere off in the desert around you, off to your west, that screech came from the west. I'd like you all to roll an awareness roll.
West man came from the west.
And if
So
any of,
notice.
yes, a notice roll, thank you. And if any of you have anything that helps with visual acuteness, you may add that or use that. I'm not sure if any of you do.
Mrs. Doctor has the opposite of that.
It's true.
It's true. It's harder for you to see. This would be a vision roll. Let's see. Very good. All right. The good Reverend squints. Can't quite make it out. But the rest of you...
Dear
Mountain.
Lord in heaven, what is that?
off
Brave
to
dragon.
the side,
Way out here.
you see a
Oh
swarm
God!
of strange creatures coming directly at you.
Oh, I've seen this. We need. These are bug aliens. We need Neil Patrick Harris to figure out how to kill them.
Right.
Indeed. What do you do? Currently, they are directly off to your west, headed towards you. One large one behind them, surrounded by an army of smaller ones.
And we're kind of stuck in the middle of nowhere. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Thanks,
I will also remind you that you're building up steam in the locomotive as we speak.
I am going to drop my gun, put my hands in the air, and start sprinting towards the Gatling gun. Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
You also notice that the two at the Gatling gun also see what is coming, and they have already begun to drag it around to point at the creatures that are
Do they
hurtling
need
towards
help? I'm on it.
you. Very good. So you have begun to run towards them. I will stay up here in the engine for a bit. Good Reverend, good Doctor, what would you like to do?
Well, I don't know about you, Reverend, but I think the sooner we get this train moving, the better.
Wholeheartedly agree.
So you two continue to work on the train. Let's go to Mr. Hayes, who is back here with the others.
Yeah, I'm back quite a ways. From this distance, I probably cannot tell if they appear to be able to climb things, but I'm going to go ahead and climb things. And I'm going to climb on top of that car that's right next to me.
Of the rail train. Very good, very good. As you begin to climb up, you hear from the north this gentleman running towards everyone. Get on the train! Get back on the train! Get on the train! And everyone begins to climb back in to their cars. I'm just going to truncate that with, some quick movement here. They are all now in the train.
I just popped my back.
Ow.
Oh, it felt good.
But Buford, sir, you are on top of that car.
Yeah, if I could be like towards the end of one.
Certainly. Would you like the back or the front of said car?
Let's go towards the burning car.
Very good.
That way I can drop inside if I need to.
Very
I'm kind of
good.
hoping that they would stay away from the fire, though.
I see exactly where you're doing, what you're headed towards. So you've begun. We'll put you on the car behind the burning car. Everyone else has started to get on board, and we're back. We're back up top. Deputy, you've reached the two at the Gatling gun. Jesus Christ! Did you see what the hell is that?
I don't know, but you don't shoot it. Get on that thing.
Right? Yeah, right. You see them struggling to right it towards the
I
east.
will help them.
Very
with
good.
An athletics roll.
Do it.
I helped.
You put all your strength, your tiny little frame into it, and you're able to.
I'm not a strong man.
You are able to turn that thing towards those creatures. As they get closer, they continue to scream. I know I'm trying, guys. I'm trying really hard.
I like it.
I'm still frightened.
I think it's
Don't get me wrong.
good.
And they continue to come towards you. You did notice, however, that the large one and a few of the small ones have stayed back, while the others continue to run towards the train, and they've begun to spread out a bit.
See them spreading out now.
Yes. Back on the engine. What do you do? I'd like you both to roll a, what is it in this game? A notice
Yes.
check.
It is
please.
notice, yeah.
A notice check.
That's it, yeah.
Is that me and the Reverend you're asking?
Yes, please. Doctor and Reverend, please.
Yeet.
Reverend
That was
Dr. Reverend.
7.
Lovely. Both of you roll well. You both are looking around at things, and you notice gauges. One marked pressure, one marked level. You see a couple of different levers. One of them's marked brake. One of them's marked throttle. You have a pretty good idea how this thing is supposed to work based on those things. But I would like you to let's see, what would be a great thing to roll in a situation like this. Let's look at our skill sets here. Neither one of you know how to drive a train. You have to be very specific to do that.
Education. Bar says.
Ooh, how about, education could work pretty well. Do we have...
Is there an education?
I don't believe
You're
there-
thinking of Cyberpunk.
Let's roll a straight smarts roll.
Excellent.
Smarts roll. Okay.
Go.
Very well.
Oh, well, that was a 4.
Both of you between the two of you, you've got a pretty good idea what you need to do. And I'd like you to role play that, if you could, please.
Well, I'm fairly certain that this lever here gets it to go. Then this looks like. Do you see which one looks like the pressure gauge? There's a couple gauges here. I can't tell what the main valve is.
I can read the gauges if you can pull the lever. I'm not exactly the strongest person.
Of course. No issue here.
As you have this conversation, you see that the pressure gauge is beginning to build. There's a bit of green and a big bit of red, and then there's some white. It has not quite reached the green point yet, but it's getting close. And you can actually hear inside the boiler where you've made the patches tiny little sort of compressed air escaping sounds. So you know that the pressure is beginning to build.
I'm going to need you to pull that lever when I say go. We have a slim window before it becomes a bit of a problem.
Cut to Mr. Hayes.
Then I'll be right here.
Mr. Hayes, what do you do?
I'm still going to hang out on top there and observe.
All right. You watch. You continue to watch as these things
Because
continue to
me running
spread.
across a flaming car is probably not the wisest thing in the world.
True enough.
I mean, I would assume at this point the roof is probably engulfed.
Indeed. The car in front of you is absolutely ablaze. Everything that's flammable on that thing, is burning. You also notice some of the dead bodies that are lying next to you, which I erased. I should not have. Sorry about that. That the creatures have gone directly for those bodies. They seem to be grabbing them and then pulling them back into the desert towards the larger piece. Those bodies have begun to get dragged out back into the desert.
We just shoot a few more people, give it to them, we're fine. Dr. Mathis?
Back to you, Mr. Gunn, Deputy Gunn. You see a group headed towards you and the Gatling gun.
They're gonna get the engine started. You two hold them off. I gotta go get my gun. It's back there, okay?
So you start running back towards the engine. Very good.
Oh, I ain't coming back. Oh, I ain't coming back.
And they
Just
begin.
noticed,
They do begin to open fire.
Ow.
Not at you. You're fine.
I know. I'm still covered. I ain't dumb.
All right. Dr. Cora, you're looking
Yeah.
at that gauge.
Stop
You can
trying.
see it as it begins to slowly climb towards the green. I would like you to make a spirit roll, please.
Yes, sir.
Try.
5.
Lovely. You continue to watch that gauge as it inches into the green.
Pull it now.
As I'm sitting there holding onto the lever, just before he hears the word to pull, the Reverend is saying a little prayer, and goes something like, "Dear Heavenly Father, I ask you that you watch over us and this locomotive and the people on this train and then I get yelled at to pull the lever. Got cut this short.
I will not make you make a strength roll. You actually will make a quick smarts roll on this.
Alrighty. Oh, I think I rolled the wrong. No, was that the wrong thing? I can't remember.
No, you. I don't know. What's your smart die? What's your smart die?
Oh no, that is the right one. But
Okay.
I'm gonna have to roll the.
Well, hold on. You grab that thing and you start pulling, and it's not going anywhere. It seems to be stuck or latched in place. You're not sure why it's not moving.
Okay, resuming prayer. Please, Lord, let this lever pull and let us be able to move on.
Deputy, I will
out
have
of this
you
terrible place.
crawling back onto the train, the rear of the train of the engine at that point.
And may your jerkish omniscient ass get us the fuck out of here. Hey, man.
One more. Give me either. It's up to you. Smarts or notice, Reverend.
I will go ahead and do a notice, although I have a feeling it doesn't matter. I'm beginning to suspect that some omnipotent force may have rigged this dice roller against me.
You mean
There it is.
God?
I think I mean Patrick. Okay.
You feel a little silly right now because you realize you just forgot to press in the little lever on top of the little latch, the trigger on top of the lever to release it, and you pull it back, and the train begins to chug.
And I'm an idiot. I'm in.
And it slowly begins to inch forward. Now, this Gatling gun continues to rattle off fire. And it does not seem to phase this group of little creatures. But this tinier group has decided that it's going to investigate the engine.
Why do I think they could hit those things? They couldn't hit a fucking train sitting on the tracks.
Cut to
Now's
Mr.
not the time to
Hayes.
wander.
Mr. Hayes, you see that those bodies have been dragged away. And once again, you hear the screech from the larger creature off in the desert.
That one's getting weirder by the second.
Yeah, right. And those things begin to return to the train. This one's blazing in front of you. The car in front of you is still blazing. Everyone else is inside the train. And as just as you feel the lurch of the train moving forward, the first bug hits the side of that car. It seems to be tearing its way up top towards you.
You're muted there, Buford.
So these little critters can climb.
Indeed.
I'm not impressed by these little crawdadders, though. I'm still going to keep watch on them, seeing if they're going to try to go through the windows or indeed climb all the way to the top.
Very good. The train slowly begins to move forward. Mr. Gunn, Deputy Gunn, go ahead and roll a notice check for me.
Okay.
As you watch. You actually do. You notice that it's not so much that they're not hitting these creatures, but whatever's happening, it's not hurting them. It almost seems as though the bullets are ricocheting off of whatever's makes up their chitinous shells.
You're doing a great job. Keep it up. They're going to fucking die. We got to go.
And they do indeed are overrun. And God, Jesus Christ! And you see their bodies dragged away, still screaming, into the desert.
And though I walk through the valley,
No time. Go faster.
I will make this go faster.
And they did leave the Gatling gun on the tracks, and so you just begin to slow more and more slowly head towards that Gatling gun, which is now, of course, sitting silently. And the first of those creatures hits the engine. What do you do?
Well, I'd probably try to shoot it, even knowing that bullets don't seem to do anything. I've got a pretty limited set of skills here.
You and me both. The Reverend continues praying.
All right, Reverend.
Uh, 7 to shoot it.
You hit it. You know what? Let's find out where you hit it. Give me a 2d6 roll, as if you were rolling damage to see where it is that you hit them before you roll damage.
6 and 4.
So that's a 10.
Oh.
So
Whoops.
you actually see it hit one of the front legs of this beast, and the bullet just bounce off, and then bounce off of the metal tank of the steam engine. Pew, pew. It's ricocheting all over the place.
Well, I hope your God's here, because my gun don't do shit.
I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows.
What do you think the chances are that those poor idiots that got dragged out there were also praying at the end? I'm going to say hi.
Dr. Cora.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to take a turn?
She has seen the bullets bounce off of these boys, and she knows that is in fact her skill set. Aside from blinding people and scratching them, that she's going to continue to monitor the gauges, and she's going to say, "I'm going to need you boys to handle that."
Oh, good. Just pass the buck, why don't you?
Can you read a pressure gauge with about 99% accuracy? Shut your
Yes.
damn mouth.
Yeah,
And
I know pressure. I know numbers. I know all sorts of stuff. You shut up.
Cut to Mr. Hayes. Still
So
on
tell me what
top.
that little critter is right now.
That little critter is indeed reaching, at least you think, reaching through the side of that car. He seems to be tearing and ripping as another slams into the side of the car to join him, ripping and tearing at the side of that car.
Oh,
You can hear the screams of the people inside the car below you, and you hear some small gunfire inside of the car.
so in other words, these people are keeping their attention.
They
so
seem to
speak.
be. They seem to be, yes.
Well, I seem to be okay with that.
Very well.
No heroes.
Once again, you hear the screech and scream of the creature. Suddenly, well, actually, I need you all to roll a notice roll.
Simultaneously.
Ooh.
Lovely, lovely.
See through time.
Wow.
Oh, damn. I thought my 9 was good.
Wow. Well, you all after that screech, that shrieking noise, you all notice that the smaller creatures react to it. There's a moment afterwards where they seem to pause or change direction subtly, but the good deputy there, he notices a direct correlation between the screams and shrieks, remembering what he's seen before with the screams and shrieks, making him believe that those noises mean something.
Now I could be wrong, but I think are they yelling at each other, or am I an idiot?
Those might be two independent questions. I'm not completely sure that, yeah.
Oh, Dr.
I
Smarty
agree.
Pants, please.
I agree. They do seem as though they may be communicating.
A group breaks off from behind.
With the 22, he can speak fluent shriek and scream.
Right?
And he will respond in kind.
A group does seem to have moved. This is something that Deputy Gunn notices, that a group does seem to move in front of the train as if it thinks it's going to stop the train from moving.
Well, that part I'm fine with.
Cora, you see that pressure lever continues to move up, but the train doesn't seem to be chugging much faster. It starts to get closer and closer to that red line.
I got an idea. I grab the coal shovel and I throw it in the fire to heat it real quick.
Ooh, lovely. All right, great.
And then I'm gonna go try to stab that one that's hanging on the outside.
Beautiful. Lovely.
I'm real bad at fighting.
All right. We have the deputy has that shovel stuck in the coal before he attacks. Reverend, good doctor, would you like to do anything before he attacks?
That there gauge suggests that the pressure is building. Is there any way to pull the lever to make it go faster?
That is a
To
great
release
idea.
more pressure?
Would you like to try that? Let's do
Yes,
it.
I would pull the switch and the lever
Excellent.
and attempt to pull it.
Just keep in mind that these trains were effectively bombs. But yeah, continue.
It lurches forward. I'd like the deputy and, well, all three of you on. Actually, all of you need to roll a. What would that be? That would be, what's the equivalent to dexterity in this game?
Probably athletics.
Agility?
Athletics. Agility. So
Or
yeah, let's do
agility.
athletics. If you have athletics, let's do an athletics. If you don't, well, y'all do. I made that a thing that everybody had at least one die in athletics. So let's
Someone's
do that.
agility score may be higher.
Reverend, you fall
Oh
on your
Lord!
you fall right on your ass, but everybody else seems to stay on their feet. Mr. Hayes actually looks kind of cool as he surfs the top of that train car.
What are we looking for here? Not moto surf, but
Yeah, right. Loco surf.
loco surf. Yay, loco surf.
Loco surf. Eat loco surfing. Excellent. We are in New Mexico. So, yes, the train begins to move faster, and that pressure needle, it looks like it's sort of leveling out right in the middle of that green. Everything's looking pretty good. You smash right through that Gatling gun and over the top of these smaller bugs. Crush, crush. Deputy Gunn, the one that is on the bug that is coming towards you. Would you like to do your thing now?
I'm real bad at it. We're about to lose this shovel. I'm just telling everyone right now, okay? Yep.
That shovel does indeed go flying
Well, I've
out.
got good news and bad news. Bad news is I missed, and the shovel's gone. Good news is I don't know. It doesn't work.
Mr. Hayes, you see that the train is obviously you feel that the train is now moving faster. Those two bugs are still clinging to the side, and up in front of you, a bug crawls up on top to stare you in the eye.
Well, that's a big mistake on his behalf.
It gives you its own tiny little screech.
Well, then, because he is in range of me, I'm not going to sit around and have him come down and stab me in the face. So I'm going to attempt to cast a bolt on him.
Ooh. Let's do that.
And that's a ranged attack.
Very good.
Ooh.
It is a hit.
Let's see, the damage then is 2d6. For a total of 7 damage.
It's you see that bolt hit, and it does have an effect on the bug. You see it begin to steam, and moisture begin to sort of escape some of its joints, and it begins to shake and move just a bit. It is shaken.
Do we all see that moisture escaping its joints?
No.
Unfortunately, he is far enough back and hidden by a big plume of smoke. He is the only one that sees that.
We too far away to see cool things.
Back
And
up.
I kind of like it that way because I prefer people not knowing what my capabilities are.
Back up top, you've crushed that Gatling gun. You've destroyed some of these things. You're about ready to come up against a bit of a wall of these bugs, quite honestly. Just waiting there for you. But one of those little creatures is still on the engine. As you move forward, you start to crush. You can feel the crushing of that. Whatever these things are made out of, you can actually feel it being crushed and hear it being crushed underneath these wheels. These things are made out of something pretty damn tough.
Am I able to rise to my feet?
You may.
Rise to my feet and continue my place by the lever. Lord, you are the guy who saves me. Day and night I cry unto you. May my prayer come before you. Turn your ear to my cry.
As you stand up, you come essentially face to face with this creature. This is the first time you've gotten a really, really good look at this thing.
It's just in there. Okay.
It's just its face is looking at you through whatever little opening is at the side here that would allow you to look forward, and that is what
Jesus.
you see. It opens. It's this gaping thing in front of it. You think it's a mouth. It's got little chompy things. You're pretty sure that's what it is, and you can actually feel the air forcing out of it to make that noise. Of course, all of you notice that creature sitting there.
Hope you're right about this god thing, because we're about to meet that fucker.
If there is an opportunity for action at this time, I would reach
absolutely.
for my rifle.
What would you like to do? Rifle? Walk me through it. What do you want to do?
I see the thing. I'm immediately startled. I pull my rifle up, take aim directly into its hideous, what I believe to be mouth, and squeeze the trigger.
Pull that trigger.
All right. Let's see here. Wish I had my stats better memorized. I apologize. As a 5 to hit.
That it comes up. You fire. You know at the end of that rifle, you know that you shot directly into its mouth. Roll damage.
Right. Let's see here. Apologies, it's a little bit lower on the sheet. I believe it's 2d10 with 2 upper piercing. Yep. 2 in there. Yeah, roll damage. Be 17 damage. Keep in mind 2 armor piercing.
Whatever happened, that bullet went in, and it went into its mouth, and it just rears up essentially it just rears up, screeches, and dies right there on the side of the drain, clinging to it. You've killed it.
Jesus Christ, I'm gonna have to try that god stuff.
I take a knee, start loading the new cartridge in as I hum the battle hymn of the Republic.
The train continues to pick up speed. You once again you hear, and you notice that all of the remaining bugs retreat. And as you go forward to the north, you watch as they disappear into the horizon. You are safe. All of you except for Mr. Hayes. The 2 that were attached, they have left. But the one that you stunned is still on the roof, Mr. Hayes.
How stunned is he?
You can see that it seems to be trying to move. It wants to move somewhere. You're not quite sure it wants to move. But it obviously, it's almost as if it is incoherent right now, not sure where it is or what it's doing.
Well, I'd like to sashay on down to the end there and just kick it off the train.
You can, this is a size of a pretty decent sized dog. It's pretty big.
That's okay. I lift my leg and give it the boot.
All right. Let's roll fighting for me, please.
Okay. A 5. 5 for fighting.
5 for fighting. You kick it, and it nudges a little bit. It tries to react. It can't, but it does still cling to the side.
Well, son of a bitch.
So it is right at the edge, though, this time. It's right there. And it takes a swing at you. Rolling my fighting. With a negative. It misses. Your turn.
I believe I just need to kick it again.
Roll fighting. You actually miss completely.
Yeah, hold on now, there. Hold on now, there.
Whoosh.
I think I would like to use a Benny at this point.
Lovely.
If this was a sport, it'd be on ESPN 8, The Ocho.
And I'm going to use my wide as a Benny and re-roll this one.
Please do.
Not much better, but at least hit the target.
You did hit the target. Same basic thing happens. You kick it. It stays exactly where it is. Starts to slump a little bit more. Steam still slowly leaving its body. It starts to twitch less and less. It seems to have stopped.
Yeah, I think I'm just going back away from it then.
You back away as the train...
And before the train gets going, too terribly fast, maybe I should probably crawl down and get inside one of these places.
Very good, very good. You enter the train, enter the car, where everyone else is. All of the bugs you've left in the dust, and you continue on your way towards Santa Fe. Lovely job, everyone. Lovely job.
Thanks.
Well, that was not how I intended spending my train ride.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was inconvenient for you.
Why are you such an abrasive asshole?
Yeah, right. I started it. I'm going to go check on everyone else, do my job. Reverend, there ain't no shovel no more, but that still needs coal. Sorry.
There is a bucket.
Well,
I'd take the jacket off, just saying.
that's a fair point. Well, ain't nothing the Lord loves like two hands at work.
All right. Bye.
All right. Would you like to do anything else on your way into Santa Fe? Anything?
I'm gonna get a head count.
All right, great. You actually, it takes you a little because of that burning car. You do have to take a bit to figure out how to get back there, but you do see that according to the what do they call the dude that takes the tickets? The conductor.
Yes.
That all ticketed passengers are accounted for.
So they just killed the dudes with the guns? Well, I'm going to call this a win.
Mr. Hayes.
Yes, sir.
Did you purchase a ticket?
Did I purchase a ticket? Of course I purchased a ticket.
Very good. Just making sure. All ticketed passengers.
Looking forward to that bit.
All right. Good doctor.
Yes.
Do you just bring the? Would you like to do anything on your way into Santa Fe?
Not particularly. I will take notes on what I saw and document as best I can, drawing out from memory the creatures that we saw.
Lovely. I will remind you that there is a creature that is lying on the engine. It's on the engine itself.
I would also like to play with that creature.
Lovely. Okay, yep, you're playing with that creature. The engineer has made his way back up to the engine as well.
Has he returned that crest?
Yes, he has. He has returned. Deputy, did you say something? I missed it. Sorry.
No.
All right.
Reverend, do you need a drink?
Not typically one for such things, but yes.
I hand him my flask.
Deputy, you feel you've plenty of handshakes and shoulder slaps, and actually, Mr. Hayes, people saw your heroism as well, and you are also being thanked and congratulated. This is something that, Deputy, you do see. It's all in plain sight in that single car where everyone is sort of gathered.
I'm more interested. I'm kind of shutting down the thanks and more interested in getting everybody's names and where they're staying, because I'm certain I'm going to have to ask all of these people continued questions about what the fuck just happened.
Indeed.
Now, I do have a question. Did the people on board then, did they see only my gunplay?
They saw you take action. No one has come to you asking about anything other than that.
Sure.
All right.
I'll go up to who put Deputy? You son of a bitch. I'm gonna bring back the ticker.
Oh, I'd assume that you had done that yourself.
I'm gonna go up to Mr. Hayes. All right. Name.
Name is Buford T. Hayes.
Exactly how many A's you put in that name?
That was exactly what I would imagine.
Exactly the number that should be there.
I'm going to go with 5.
Speaking of the correct number of letters, I don't mean to nitpick there, but you've only got one L in your game marshal there.
That is the way that Deadlands spells it.
Really?
It does.
Interesting.
All right. And where are you from, Santa Fe, sir?
Am I from Santa Fe? You like originally? Is that what you're asking me?
Or where are you staying? I don't. Where are you staying? In case you're needed for questioning.
I'm heading into Santa Fe.
And where are you staying in case you're needed for questioning?
Well, I don't know yet.
But I recommend the do I have an updated list of where
you should? It should be on that map that I gave you.
Okay.
There are several hotels. Santa Fe is a lovely, lovely town in the northern part of New Mexico.
I'm going to tell him a hotel name real quick then. And Yes, can we agree on
Yes,
that?
there is
Because I don't want to
the
look
Palace Hotel, which is quite lovely.
Palace Hotel. There. Might I recommend a man in your obvious standing at the Palace Hotel, and just so I know where the hell to find you.
Appreciate your kindness there, sir.
Also, apparently you did some stuff. Did you get a good look at the? Well, first the people shooting at us, and then the horrific monsters that tried to eat us all.
I kind of got up close and personal with one of the creatures.
Fantastic. And is that creature among the deceased?
Well, I didn't see much of them, to tell you the truth. I was in the gambling compartment there, and they came in, and I just escorted myself outside.
I meant the monster.
Oh, what about it?
Did you kill it?
Did I kill it? Well, I don't know if it's still up on the roof there, but I'd say I did some damage to it.
Okay. I gotta go on the roof. All right. And that's all. God, that's all. I'm gonna go climb on the roof of a moving train. Look for it. Is it this car? This one?
No, it's the one right behind us.
Right behind us. Fantastic. Have a lovely day, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna climb the train and look for the dumb bugs.
Just give me an athletics roll. Just you're obviously not excited about climbing onto this.
4.
You're very cautious about it, but you poke your head up there. You don't have to go far. You see that yes, indeed, there is one of those creatures.
Is it moving?
It is not moving.
Oh, I'll crawl up on top. Okay, what do you want me to roll for being on top of the train?
Oh, you can stick with that same athletics roll.
Okay.
You're good. You're good. What would you
Okay.
like to do?
I gotta make sure it's in the middle of the top. I'll drag it towards the middle of the top to try to keep it secured.
Awesome. All right, give me this is I guess a straight
Strength.
yeah. Let's do just
There we go. D4. 19. Feeling motivated.
You're surprised how light it is. It's just whoa.
Why is my roll a 20? Hold up.
Whoops.
Whoops.
Because you did a roll instead of a damage? I don't know. That's weird.
We reroll that. There you go.
You're still. It's like it's almost as if all of the moisture was sucked out of it. You know, due to some kind of, I don't know, electric shock that caused a great deal of heat. I don't know, but it was super light. You just kind of, not super light, but you drag it over to the middle of the car, and it does not move. It feels.
I'll get back down after that and
All
just continue looking for people and
right.
continue my census of witnesses.
Very good. And Dr. Cora,
Yes.
what would you like to investigate?
I would like to actually I would like to investigate the exterior of these creatures.
All right. What do you
Seeing that bullets were bouncing off of them, my scientist mind thought perhaps if some of this exoskeleton could be retrieved and adhered to clothing items, that it could potentially create a barrier for a human.
Well, aren't you smart? Do you obviously you have weird science?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we roll weird science to see what
Let's
it is
do
that you glean from this creature?
May I ask a thing?
You may. We'll hold.
Dr. Mathis, where are you working on this bug? Did you take it somewhere private? Or are you just looking at it where it stood on the engine,
Yep.
or have you pulled it into the conductor's compartment?
Nope. I'm not touching it. I'm not moving it. I'm just leaving it where it is.
That's where it stands.
Mm-hmm.
With that roll,
I'm gonna re-roll.
All right.
Is what I'm gonna do. Use one
very
of my
good. He's
dice.
using another fate chip. Lovely.
The white ones let me re-roll, correct?
The white ones can re-roll.
Or not a critical fail.
Yeah, you can re-roll essentially a skill check, which is what this is. So you can absolutely you can
Excellent. I will use the white one. And I will re-roll for a 7.
Very good. You are from the vantage point that you have, which is the kind of hanging off through that window, trains moving. You can't really dig into it yet, but what you absolutely notice is that that it's made of some type of chitinous shell. It's hard. It reminds you of like a shellfish almost. Like you probably had run into some like crawdads or something like that in some of the fancier restaurants that you may have eaten in. But it's a hard shell, and the joints in are a softer version of that shell. You don't seem this. You at least from the way where you stand. You as you manipulate the head, you don't see that there are any eyes. But there are some holes in that shell that you think are probably sensory in some way. And as you certainly can look inside of its mouth, and you can see that that bullet tore up the inside of that creature, almost as if it was ricocheting around inside of its body.
All right. I would like to attempt to collect some of the hard exoskeleton. And if that means I need to drag it somewhere else where I can work on it for an extended period of time, I will do so.
What kind of tools do you have with you?
Well, I have I have my guns, so that probably wouldn't work all that well. I would assume I have I didn't purchase any. I don't know that where I would find that. But I assume I would have some kind of science-based
like a
tools
tool
working
set
for,
of some kind.
right, for working with my ghost rock. And I also have my my special daggers that you and I have talked about.
Yes. What would you like to try? There's little Lincoln. Hey, Lincoln.
Lincoln.
I just see barely the top of your head, little dude.
I think I would.
Let's say that in your kit you have you have what you would normally find in sort of a, what do we call, maybe like almost like a tool kit. So you have like plier type things, and you got like a hammer, and maybe you've got a chisel, and maybe you've got.
I would imagine that at the very least I had a chisel to work with the ghost rock.
There you go.
So I would first I would drag it somewhere a little bit more private, so I'm not in the way of the engineer.
There's not a lot to go. You're on the engine itself. You're in the engine cab, whatever they call that. You can probably drag it as far to the back of that as you can. It is about this, like I said, it's about the size of a pretty big dog. But yeah, roll give me a what did we?
Weird science.
Yes. This be a physical roll to get it from where it is now to the.
Oh.
So a strength or something like that.
All right. That would be a 3. I am not the strongest person in the world.
It's hung up somewhere on the side of that thing. You can't seem to dislodge it, at least alone.
Is the Reverend still in that room?
Reverend!
No, he left, didn't he?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Are you
what?
still in the in the engine compartment?
So the Reverend wasn't going to mess with anything that the doctor was doing. But
All right.
he was staying present as she was putting herself in a precarious situation.
So he
and
is
was just kind of waiting there. Unless the conductor shoot him away, he would have said to he would have been having a mild conversation with the conductor along the lines of, I do hope I didn't mess anything up. Necessity of the situation, of course.
Just for clarity, that would be the engineer.
Engineer, sorry.
But you are indeed still in the engine compartment. So good.
But I would not have left without her safely leaving.
Very good. So he is there.
Excellent. Reverend, might I have your assistance moving this to a more secure location, mostly just back away from the engineer. I don't want to be in his way.
I'll admit, I shudder to touch this awful thing after seeing
it's
it
dead.
alive and up
It's
close. But I will be of assistance.
I appreciate that. Then we'll try and move it again.
Both of you give me a strength roll.
That's a 4.
I really need to get more monitors. I need to get.
We all need more monitors. More monitors.
Strength it was. All right.
I have 3 right now, and I desperately want a fourth one.
An addiction.
It is.
It is a 4 on my natural dice.
Very good. Between the two of you, absolutely, you're able to get it unstuck, whatever it was, pull it through, and it is now lying on the floor of that engine compartment. You can see that the engineer is not happy, but he's not. He's also not protesting. He knows that you both have saved his life. So, Doctor.
Yes. Thank you. That'll be all, Reverend. I'll just be a moment. Gonna collect some samples. It might not be the most pleasant thing to witness with someone with your delicate constitution.
You couldn't have said that any creepier.
Understood. I suppose I will go and attempt to comfort the passengers, unless, of course, there's anything that you need help with, Mr. Engineer.
No. Thank you very much. Thank both of you.
That engineer's about as useful as a hammer without a head.
And then I would take my leave, and I would go to see if there are any. I'm sure there are passengers in need of comfort.
Very good. Like the deputy, it takes you a bit to figure out a way through that burning, the burning car.
There's the burning car.
Yeah.
That's right.
But
that would kind of be that would give me pause. I don't think I would move through it.
All right. So then you stop. Then basically on the wood, on a flatbed full of wood, you just gonna hang out there. Good with
Just
that.
kind of staring at it.
All right. While you figure that out, Dr. Cora,
Yes.
where would you like to begin? You want to
Well,
role play
I'm
this, or
thinking, for expediency's sake, since I need to leave here in a couple minutes.
yes?
I would start with the softer bits, hoping to get a little bit of leverage once I cut through those underneath the harder bits to sort of just pop them right off.
Right. Very good. Yes, much like eating a shellfish, you're able to get
Exactly.
your chisel.
I'm thinking about those crabs that I had that one time, the actual animal crabs, not crabs. And I'm thinking about how I took those apart, and I'm applying the same techniques.
Very good. Yes, you start to for expediency, since you got to leave pretty soon. Yes, you're able to remove a lower sort of the whole piece of a lower part of the leg before you find yourself entering Santa Fe. And yes, all of you. The train begins to slow. You find yourself in Santa Fe, and let me pull up the.
Excellent. Since we are making our way to a new location, I will peace out now.
Very quickly, as
Yeah.
you roll in, you see a person. Just for expediency's sake, you are asked to join a scientific exploration of that creature with another good doctor. Do you accept?
I would indeed.
Very good. You are taken away to meet with this with a doctor with a person that you've never met before, and with that we will pick up with you next episode.
I'll just go ahead and do this in case I am able to make it back if our rehearsal runs short.
All
so
right,
I'll just
great.
leave it, and I'll
Sounds
mute
good.
myself, and then hopefully I'll be back in.
Lovely. All right, gentlemen, you have found your way to Santa Fe. Right here, the big 28. That is the train
Lady's
depot.
gone. Take your nipples out.
Flop it out, boys. Flop it out. You find you're at the depot. People begin to disembark. You can see that people are still rattled. There are people there waiting for them. There's hugs. There's many things happening. There's a great deal of excitement, a great deal of emotion. And as you step onto the platform, let's see here, Mr. Buford and Deputy Gunn, you notice someone trying to stop you. Excuse me, pardon me, Deputy. You recognize him as Peter. Good deputy.
Yes, Peter. I should note I have had a very long day, so
Yes.
I apologize.
Of course, I understand. I've heard tell that you and a gentleman in a black hat. Do you know who I might be? Who he was there with you? He helped apparently with what was happening on the train.
There's a nice feller by the name of Hayes.
Yes, of course, Mr. Hayes. Could you please find Mr. Hayes and bring him? The Colonel would like to see both of you.
I do not work for you.
The Colonel, you are aware of. The Colonel is the default mayor of Santa Fe. And that does give you some pause.
And you can't find him because...
Well, the Colonel would also like to speak with you.
Well, Colonel, I acknowledge and appreciate the Colonel's attention, but I'm gonna need some food and a change of clothes before I visit the Colonel. I apologize.
I'll let him know. I suppose. I'll find him myself.
Fine, I'll do it. Peter, get the hell out of my face.
Right. Thank you. Reverend.
Hayes! Hayes! I'm looking for him now.
Reverend, as you step off of the
It's the
engine,
wood cart. Yeah.
you see a small, wiry-looking gentleman dressed very nicely. Excuse me. Reverend, excuse me.
Yes. Well, what can I help you with?
Yes, hello, my name is Peter. I am the assistant of the good colonel, and he would like to see you.
Understood, Peter. May I ask why?
Well, the colonel, he's already heard of your heroism. He wishes not only to thank you, but to give you the experience of his hospitality.
I was simply ordinary man put in an extraordinary situation, and I just, knee-jerk reactions did what I need. I need
That's
attention for such things.
Of course, that's lovely. But it is the colonel. Please follow me.
I hate Peter. Oh, and then there were two.
It seems this may be
Peter. Which means rock, by the way. Did you know? Did you know that?
I'm sorry, my
the rock on which God would build his church. Anyway, I really would prefer not to bring too terribly much attention to myself with this kind of fanfare.
we do love that you don't. It's the lack of expectation that we love most, is of course. But I must insist that you join me and therefore the colonel. Let me offer you this. The colonel has told me that he wishes to set you up in a wonderful room in the Palace Hotel for your bravery today. That would include access to bath and a hot meal. All you must do is, please, just let him say thank you.
I will ask out of character. This was not intended to be the Reverend's final destination. How was there intended to be a layover here, or was the train going to keep going after this stop?
Well, it's on fire, so
I suppose that would be, you know what, that would cause a delay. That makes sense.
The train's not going anywhere. Yeah.
I suppose that's fine.
Glorious.
Simply just, I need to get back to seminary.
Of course.
And I of course need to, once the train is back up and running, of course I need to get back.
Understood. Please, come with me.
All right.
Back to you, Deputy.
Hayes! I'm catching up to him. Hayes! Buford. Gordon knows. Mr. Hayes, I have been asked to cordially invite you to the Colonel's estate, post haste.
I must say I'm rather surprised by this invitation. May I ask why?
I'm going to interrupt very quickly. Deputy, you do know that the Colonel has an office right here at the train depot.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay, it's just a stop over here at he's got an office here. I don't know why his assistant, Peter, has asked me to find you. They want to congratulate all of us on our heroisms.
Oh. It's interesting to...
There'll probably be a bottle and a bed in it for you, so.
I can never say no to a bottle.
And I ain't never said no to a bed, so come on.
So, yes, I'd I should be pleased to join you.
Are you gonna head to the palace after this?
Oh, that's my plan, unless there's a better offer on the table.
I ain't no better offer in town, I promise you that. So we go there.
Oh, lovely. As you, Deputy, you know exactly where you're going. And as you head there, you see that Peter has found the good Reverend and is also headed towards the an unmarked door at the on the end or near the end of the train station here.
Reverend, pleasure to see you in good health.
Oh, and Deputy, you as well. Quite the harrowing experience back there.
Well, yeah, that sucked.
Needless to say, I'll need to find a new hat.
By my notes, though, we didn't lose one soul, so you can be happy to your good Lord in that.
Thank the Lord for that.
Peter gives a quick knock on the door and opens it for you and leads you into a room where a man is bent over a desk and there's a table out behind him.
What are we watching here, Chad? What's going on in this room? You need to be very clear.
Just how exactly bent over this desk is here?
Not that bent over. Sorry, Mr. Hayes.
Please tell me there is not a singular black couch in the room.
I know what you're insinuating there, sir.
Please, sit. There is a pitcher of some kind of liquid on that table, and he asks you all to have a seat. Would you like to have a chair at that table and partake in some libation?
I am currently on duty, sir. I will stand by the door.
Very well.
Is there alcohol in this?
Deputy, I do believe that you have earned yourself a right to sit down and maybe have just one drink.
I am on duty and I take my duties very seriously. But I'm getting right fucked up when I am not.
Oh. From the table, from the desk in front, you hear an old man's voice. Now, come now, Deputy. You're off duty now. You're off duty. I've spoken to the sheriff. He knows you're here.
Thank you, sir. Did you happen to get a response from sheriff?
But of course I did. As I say, he knows that I've called you here. Give me one moment, then. I'm a bit preoccupied, and then I'll be right with you. He turns back to his paperwork.
I'll sit down and I will pour myself a glass then.
Very well. You find yourself in a room, as you can see, a room that has a bed in one corner, a table, several benches, fire burning stove, wood burning stove.
L'chaim.
He's you can tell that this isn't probably where he lives, but he certainly spends a great deal of time here. Deputy, you know this as the working office of Colonel Raleigh Sinclair. You don't know a great deal about him. What you do know is that he's the regional manager of Dixie Rail Corporation, the Western Territory. He's also, as I said earlier, he's sort of the de facto leader or mayor of the town. There is an elected position of mayor, but he kind of decides who that's going to be, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. The colonel has a certain reputation. Not only is he here running the railroad in the Western Territories, but he also runs the garrison, the Confederate Army's garrison here in Santa Fe. Very powerful man. He leaves. He looks up from the paperwork on his desk and steps over to have a seat at one of the benches on the other side of you. I do apologize. I was preoccupied with the unfortunate incident that happened with you all here today. I first of all want to thank you very much for how you handled said situation. All these the encroaches upon the Dixie Rail Corporation happening more and more these days. They say the war's over, but I think we all know that's not true. Sides might have changed a bit. There might be more people involved, but these rail wars, well, they've got me a bit busy. So, please, I apologize to those of you. I am Colonel Raleigh Sinclair, manager here. First, as I said, thank you so much, and I'd like to extend my hospitality to y'all, including you, Deputy, for your roles in thwarting said events.
Simply doing my job, sir.
That is why you are such a valuable employee of this city, sir. Please, you are. He looks at you, Mr. Hayes.
Yeah, the name is Buford T. Hayes.
Mr. Hayes.
There's 5 A's in that, sir.
Just the correct amount of A's.
Very nice to meet you, sir. You look like a man of taste.
I like to indulge in the delicacies of life. That is correct.
I may be able to help you with that this evening, sir. I'd like to have all of you, including you, Deputy, if you'd like, please, a room at the Palace Hotel.
The
On me,
Palace
of
Hotel,
course.
Deputy, isn't that the place you suggested to me earlier this evening?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Well,
Mr. Hayes.
it is
And it did come highly recommended.
It is the nicest establishment here in town, if I may say so. I also happen to be the owner. And you, good Reverend, you are?
Reverend Winslow Fullerton, and thank you, Colonel. I want to thank you, Colonel. Thank you for your hospitality, and it's a pleasure to meet you.
Well, likewise, always a nice, how shall I say, distraction to meet someone at the Lord's favor. May I ask you, what is your denomination, sir?
Truth be told, I guess in this case I suppose he would probably be. It's supposed to, I intended for him to be generic Protestant, but since there's probably like a thing about Methodists, I'm gonna say he's Lutheran. Yeah. I would be Wisconsin Synod Lutheran, sir.
A man of Reformation, then. Very nice, very nice. We will have to have many long discussions while you are here in town, perhaps over some brandy and some fine tobacco. Discussions of faith, of course.
Of course. Not much of a smoker myself, but I will not. I will have no objections about you indulging in your own house.
Really, you sound like you're on your second pack today.
I must admit, gentlemen, I have an ulterior motive for asking you here today. And, Deputy, before you say anything, the sheriff knows what I'm about to ask.
Yes, sir.
Well, obviously, I've had some troubles here with these railroad raids. And it's put me at a bit of a disadvantage because I'm also very aware of whatever that creature is out there. It's not the first time the rail has had to deal with such things. I will say they're becoming more and more bold, however. Unfortunately, I do not have the authority to send the garrison out after said creatures. I need them here to deal with these raids. I'd like to ask, we'll call it a favor. I need a group of brave individuals, people willing to go out there and find these creatures, where it is they hail, where it is they come from.
Sir?
Now. I ain't asking you to exterminate them. I'm not even asking you to engage. More just reconnaissance, if you will. I see y'all.
Sir, I would be more than honored to take up this mission for you.
I understand you would, son. You have duty. Now, I understand that financial gain isn't always the best way to motivate certain types of people. But perhaps there's something else, something more desirable for each of you. As I said, the good deputy's motivated by duty. What have you, Mr. Hayes? What motivates you?
See, what motivates me would be winning a really, really good hand of cards. Now that motivates me. Taking a challenge and being able to rise above it. Beat all the odds. That's what gets to me. Now, it's not always money.
Indeed.
Talk about liking the good things in life. Now, if there's a decent bottle of whiskey, finely aged cognac, now that gets me interested.
That's, I think we might be able to do for you. Good Reverend, sir. Mission like this could do with a little faith, little guidance from the good Lord.
As in all things, I'm but a simple man of the cloth and a fresh one, might I add. I hardly see what my place in all this could be.
Reverend, I watched you put down 2 of them bandits and 1 of them monsters. I don't know if you can say that you are a simple religious man.
I've of course been to a coon hunt or 2 in my life, but you know, just reflex. I was just the situation at hand. I would not. I would not walk towards such a situation.
Reverend, may I ask you, where is it that you all headed?
Well, I was simply waiting for the train to get fixed up. Truth be told, my final destination was meant to be Albuquerque, but the church I was called to from seminary was to be my first flock. And got there and came to find the church had already folded. Seemed as though funds and faith had already been in short supply in that town. The seminary's been my home for so many years. I assumed I would have to go back.
You find yourself a shepherd without a flock, then.
I do suppose that is the case.
Perhaps we could remedy that situation for you. Just happen to have a church being rebuilt, have you? Might be the perfect place for you to administer your words of faith. Might that interest you, Reverend?
Of course, I would like to spread the word of the good Lord, but
it seems as though the Lord himself may have brought you here.
I was hoping for a peaceful place, but
Reverend, just say yes. You know you're gonna.
Reverend, there is no peaceful place. And those places, all these places, could use the word.
I'll give it the good Lord's try.
Ha! It's settled then. Gentlemen, let us head on over there to the palace. We'll have a wonderful evening, and then perhaps in the morning we can discuss where it is that you might go.
Reverend, if it's all the same to you, I'm gonna stop by my lodgings real quick and have a change and a wash, and I'll meet you there.
Deputy, sir, we will see you there. You guys pick up and you head on out. All right. Deputy, I think we will begin with you. You'd like to stop by your lodging. You actually have a room in the upper part of the hotel that's right next to the sheriff's office. Right there, 31.
Yeah.
That is the sheriff's office.
Mm.
Right there on the corner.
Yeah.
You have a room here in 24, the Harlow's Hotel, towards the back. Would you like to stop in to the sheriff's office on your way
I
home
would.
or not? Lovely. Would you like to go to your room first or to the
Sheriff's
first? Very good.
Yeah. Sheriff Dunwoody? Sir?
You walk in and yes, you see three people that you are very, very familiar with. The sheriff himself, Sheriff Dunwoody. Sheriff Dunwoody he's older. You're not even sure how old this guy is. He's been around for so long.
903.
Sheriff, one thing that has always fascinated you is his right arm. His right arm is actually mechanical, powered by some type of tiny steam engine behind him. And you're very aware of his past. He used to be a Texas Ranger. You also find that kind of fascinating. You'll love to hear him tell stories. Reminds you of your novels that you used to read as a kid. Also there, you have Jose, Deputy Jose. Jose, he doesn't talk a lot, but when he does, somehow he always seems to sound wise. And then the young lady sitting at the table furthest from you, that's Deputy Owen. Now, Deputy Owen is Native American descent. Owen's just, she's told you her real name, but Owen's just easier. So that's what everybody calls her.
I kind of zoned out halfway through, and then I started calling her Owen.
Pretty much.
Owen, Jose, Sheriff, good to know there ain't any crime out there right now, I guess.
Deputy, this Sheriff Dunwoody. I heard you did well out there, boy.
I did my job, sir.
Indeed. So, Colonel's got you playing lapdog, does he?
I don't like this, Sheriff.
I know. I knew you wouldn't. But he ain't wrong. Something needs to happen. I can't go nowhere.
He's in charge of the entire garrison. You can't tell me he couldn't spare a few.
I ain't disagreeing with you. But I need you out there. I need you out there doing what you do best, son.
Yes, sir.
Very well. You ain't gonna be out there alone, I'll tell you that right now. I'm gonna have Jose be tracking you. Keep an eye on you. I ain't very happy about this. I know, Jose. I know.
You're not happy about it. I'm the one that has to stand next to those bug-eyed weirdos.
I'm the one that has to watch your back, eh?
Well,
you think I like doing this?
That's the best part of me to watch, Jose. you get it.
Wrong. Jesus Christ.
That's Owen.
What? Yeah, it's Owen. What did you expect? Jesus.
I love you so much, Chad.
Oh, this is gonna be hard. I think I'm gonna avoid conversations with Owen.
Can you both just quit being such dicks and just do what you're supposed to do? Jesus.
Says the person who don't gotta leave town.
You're leaving me here all alone. Hello.
Listen, I knew you grew up in Southern California for some reason.
Oh, fuck's sake.
San Diego.
Yeah.
You are, she walks right up to you. You are an asshole.
I'm not an asshole. I'm trying.
She turns to Jose. I'll
bad
see
day.
you later. And she leaves.
That's a mistake, Jose. That is a mistake in boots.
Sometimes you make mistakes. It's not easy. I'll be all right. Thank you for your concern.
Sometimes you make it with mistakes. Seriously, Sheriff. Listen, I don't want to do it, but I will. I have a list of names of everyone on the train and where they're staying. If you want to talk to any of them.
You're always thinking, boy. Yep, hand that over here.
There you go. I tear a couple of pages out of my whatever notebook I had. Here you are.
He hands them to Jose.
We didn't lose any passengers. I think we might have lost a worker, but most of just the... We didn't lose two passengers. We didn't lose any passengers. You said we didn't lose any passengers.
Didn't lose any ticketed passengers.
Oh.
So you're not aware of them.
Well, then I wouldn't be aware.
Buford's aware of them. But
We didn't lose any passengers. They carried off a whole bunch of them guys tried to rob the place, though. Where the hell did they get a rotating gun?
what you're telling me Had a Gatling gun.
They didn't tell you that? Yeah, the guys
Nobody
that
told me that.
guys that tried to hold up the train shot up the boiler with a rotating gun.
Well, shit.
That's like military only, isn't it?
Supposed to be. But with these, these different warring factions on those goddamn railroads, they ain't making anybody's life any easier. Tell you what. I want you to go have a good time tonight. Try not to think about any duty or anything like that. I want you to have fun. I want you to blow off some steam. Cause he's gonna need you on. Gonna need you on your best. Going back out there after those things.
Yes, sir.
Very
I'll have you noted though. Bullets don't mean shit to them.
What are you saying?
I'm saying the only bullet I saw kill one of them got put straight down its skull. The rest of them just bounced clean off. I tried to superheat a shovel and throw it at him, but that didn't work at all. I'll admit I was grasping at straws towards the end there.
I think you better go, That's interesting to me.
I'm gonna go clean up, sir.
Yeah.
I have to meet the colonel at the palace.
I hear that. I might send for you later. Just be aware.
Yes, sir. Have an excellent evening, sir.
You too, boy.
I would go get changed and kind of washed up and then head to the palace.
Sounds good. All right. The others, you are taken by horse-drawn wagon all the way across town. It takes you down Palace Street, actually, which leads to Washington Avenue, to one of the largest buildings in town, the Palace Hotel. This place is fancy. Yep, facaded beautifully, incredibly well painted, marble floors, the whole deal. As you walk in, you see the first floor seems to be a large, essentially what the nicest looking restaurant, tavern that you've ever seen. Looks more like a suppose that Mr. Hayes, you feel it feels more like a gambling establishment, an actual almost casino like environment than a hotel restaurant. Reverend, you too feel a bit out of place, actually. This is not the kind of place that you've frequented very often.
Indeed, of course, and this would be obviously the first time I would feel out of place.
He offers you both rooms first. Would you like to take advantage of the bathing establishment?
I'd certainly like to throw some water on my face, at the least.
You're both given keys to rooms, both on the third floor of this establishment. Separate rooms, obviously, across the hall from each other. However, both rooms do have their own cast iron tub, and a young lady in each room has already started to fill those tubs with hot water.
Don't do it. It's a trap. They're going to cook you.
Tastes just like chicken.
Oh, pardon me, my child. Could I ask a favor of you of just one brief moment of privacy? I appreciate you getting the bath ready.
Of course. She leaves.
Ah, a British urchin.
The good Reverend would find something to start hyperventilating into. Any kind of bag he could find.
Mr. Hayes. Mr. Hayes, sir.
Well, yes, sir. I would like to get settled into my room as well.
Very good.
And one question that I do have is,
Yes.
does my room have its own private bath?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Both rooms do have its own a cast iron tub in both rooms.
Is there any place that I can get myself a good, a nice scented bath salt?
Ooh.
No, I don't think Buford needs bath salts.
The young lady, the young lady disappears for a moment and does come back with two different glass jars, one with a pink substance, one with a blue substance, and she hands them to you.
Well, thank you very much, darling. I greatly appreciate it.
Will there be anything else?
No, I think that should be enough for now. I just want to take some time, get cleaned up, relaxed a little bit before I meet up with the Colonel again.
Yes, sir. She
Thank
leaves.
you.
She leaves. Deputy, you enter the establishment, and you see in the you're very aware of where you can find the Colonel. It's not a private room, but there is a raised area in the essentially the front right of the establishment that he tends to frequent.
I go there almost immediately. I say my hellos to the staff and whoever's behind the bar first, but then I would.
You get an inquisitive look from the bartender. It's like, you want your usual?
I don't know. I'm gonna go see the Colonel. Is that too lowbrow? I don't know what to do. How's my hat look? Okay. Yeah. Shall I wait for it? Okay.
He starts mixing something.
I gotta take my.
Deputy.
Take my hat off walking in.
Deputy, sir. Please.
Colonel?
Cigar?
Oh, no, thank you, Colonel. My mama told me they smell gross, and it just kind of clicked.
That they do. But I must admit that I have a bit of an addiction to them myself.
Oh, you're fine, sir. What are you laughing at? My dumb hat? Or the top of my headphones? There's no other way I could do it.
Just Chad doing.
I'm going to assume you've got a drink on the way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have a.
Very well.
It's called a Children's Delight. Cream and
I'm not
whiskey.
aware. cream and whiskey, you say?
Yes, sir.
May have to try one of those myself.
Every time anybody's ever had one with me, they puked.
Well, sounds like a challenge then.
Are the others here, sir?
They are preparing themselves for the evening. I had baths drawn for them.
That's very kind of you, sir.
Yes, it is.
Sir, can I ask you a question?
Please.
Apparently it wasn't in the initial report, but the stage robbers who tried to take over the train had one of them rotating guns, like you have in the garrison.
Yes, the Gatling gun. Right.
Yes, sir. And I was just wondering. There's no way they could have taken that from your good people. I'm certain.
I'm certain no. No way that could have happened. Not here, of course. But who knows where these people get their guns?
I assume not, sir. I just, I was. Now I'm worried about guns coming in from other places.
I do see that you do enjoy your work. That's good. That's
what I live for, sir.
It's best to live to work, is it not?
Well, I met many a man that works to live, and they all seem depressed as hell.
Indeed. Hey, the bartender comes and sets that drink in front of you.
I tried to think of something really gross.
That cream is already curdling. No question.
Jim. That's the bartender. 3 more of those. What'd you call them?
I don't remember. Kids Delight or something?
Children's Delight.
Children's Delight.
Also disturbing. Almost as disturbing as the composition of the drink.
I think we'll need, 4.
I didn't name it. Jim did.
He nods and heads back to the bar. Gentlemen, by now, if you would like to join, I'll let you join at any time.
Yes, I will have worked my way down after soaking for, I would say, relatively decent amount of time.
Really got to let that whole bath turn into just taint juice.
It's at that point where it just gets, it's not even lukewarm anymore. It's I don't even know what you call
water is the consistency of gross and farts. That's what it is.
Yes, the temperature is gross and it's slimy suddenly. What did you do in there? Reverend.
He was in the 18th century wandering around in a bathtub.
What have you made? Efficient use of my time, simply. Bathed quickly, got redressed, and I would kind of... Is there a mirror?
Of course.
I assume there's like a mirror.
These are in really beautiful rooms. You're actually on the 3rd floor. They're almost suites. They've got a nice sitting area. Of course, the 4-post bed. The tub inside, the wash basin. It's a beautiful room.
I would dedicate a little bit of time to prayer, but I would spend yet more time looking in that mirror, talking to myself, working myself up, stealing myself to go back down there.
Back to the table. Deputy. Gun, is it?
Yes, sir. Francis Gunn.
So where is it that you hail from? I don't recognize the accent you have there.
Well, originally Tennessee when I was young, and then Mama and I moved to Utah. She didn't much care for the Mormons, but you know,
There aren't many that do, except other Mormons, of course.
they were nice enough. I mean, to me, but yeah.
How'd your mama fare?
Oh well, Mama fared bad everywhere she went, but Mama passed a few years back.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, it's everyone's got their time.
Indeed they do. There's a bit of wisdom in you, isn't there, boy?
Oh, maybe. Mom always says, dumb as I was, stupid. I didn't understand why she needed to say it twice.
Sometimes the people closest to you have the hardest time seeing you.
Anyway.
I see good things coming from you.
Well, thank you.
Good
Colonel.
things.
Thank you, Colonel.
Since Hayes apparently got all pruny, I imagine I would be the next one to enter the room.
Very well, very well. Look at there, the Reverend. Reverend!
Good evening, Colonel.
Good evening to you. Please, please. Jimmy comes back with those drinks, sets them down. I hope you don't mind. We went ahead and ordered for the table a curious drink called Child's Delight. Please.
Bottoms up.
Seems hardly appropriate for a man of the cloth.
There is a bit of a, yes, irony in that. Or no, that would not be. Anyway.
You gotta drink it fast.
Apparently so. Everybody roll. Let's make. Oh shit! What is that? We'll make it a.
That's gotta be guts or vigor or something.
A vigor roll. Yep. Vigor roll.
Do I have to?
No, you're actually used to them. Tell you what. Yes, I still want you to roll, but you get two. We'll have two of your vigor die. How about that?
Okay.
All right, let's see. Vigor roll.
I got a 4. Even I barely kept it down.
The Colonel throws up a little bit in its own mouth and swallows it. Oh, Lord. Reverend, however, I'd like you to roleplay this moment.
Spittoon's right there. Spittoon's right there.
Now. Oh, slaps you on the back a few times. Get it out of there. Get it out of there.
I mean, I tried to tell you.
Oh no, you told. Oh, there's some more. Where's it all coming from? Oh.
Oh my God, Hugo's checking on me. He thought I was gone.
All right. Now, I know when Mr. Hayes gets here, we're doing this again.
Oh yeah, that'll be funny.
Well, greetings, gentlemen.
Ah, Mr. Hayes. Mr. Hayes.
Jimmy!
Oh, Lord, Jimmy, no.
You seem to have a little bit on your collar there. You might want to wipe that off. Little splatter.
Mr. Hayes, sit down.
Pardon, sir.
Sit down. We're playing the game.
Yes, please, Mr. Hayes. Mr. Hayes, have a
And
seat.
what game might this be?
Well, it's-
Drink the drink.
We have a very curious drink here. Please, he hands you a. It's called Child's Delight. I think I finally now have an inkling about why it has such the name. Here we go.
One. Nothing
Before
wrong.
I
with
drink this, may I ask what's in it? Or would it be better that I don't know?
You should not know. Here we go.
You should
And
just drink it quick.
clink. Oh.
What the fuck? How did I get on?
Everyone, roll vigor, please.
Uh-oh. I fucked it up. I got a 1 and a 2.
Oh.
I'm so glad that I've got the intestinal fortitude to handle this drink.
Give me that!
Because it is one of the rudest drinks I've ever had in my life.
Indeed it is. But I'll tell you this, it sure don't make me laugh.
Kayla!
That's right, let's get a little something better then. Yeah. Mr. Hayes, I believe cognac is your drink of preference.
You know, I could either do some cognac or if you happen to have some Donnelly rye whiskey.
Oh, Donnelly Rye. Jimmy.
Just
Jimmy comes over. 2 Donnelly Rye. Either of you like to join?
Kayla!
Well, tequila for the deputy. Mr. Reverend, sir. What might we get you that would be better for your palate?
Hold on a second.
I can tell if that's he's finally tired of the hat or if he's got the full bladder going on.
Well, he had been originally he had been courteous and taken it off on his way in.
What would you like to drink, good Reverend? Would you like to join Mr. Hayes and I? Or would you like to a tequila? Or perhaps you would like are you a wine person? We do have a nice selection of wines as well.
Oh, were you unable to hear me before?
I did not hear you.
Oh, sorry. A beer would be fine.
Ah, yes, a beer. Jimmy runs off. Brings back said drinks, sets them in front of you. Mr. Hayes, please, regale us with a story of your past. Where do you come from?
Oh, I love this. Yeah.
Well, I come from down, say, the Bayou area. New Orleans, actually, where I come from.
I was once as a child. It's a lovely city.
Yes, it is.
Indeed.
Extremely warm down there too. Now I know it gets warm around here too, but it's a dry heat out here, don't you think?
Indeed it is, indeed.
Getting drier.
What brings you to Santa Fe?
Yeah, it's Santa Fe. Well, it should come to no surprise to anybody that I am a gambling man, and I like to go where the gaming is good.
You're in the right place. The Palace has the best cards in all of Santa Fe.
I got to say that,
Right, Colonel?
Indeed, it
Along with-
does.
I got to say, along with indulging myself in a little bit of relaxation in the tub, I did take a stroll around the area here, and I do think that I'll be imbibing myself in a little bit of poker.
Very good, very good. And we do pride ourselves on a clean game as well.
That's good.
And that's on both sides.
Yeah.
I would expect it no other way.
Of course, of course.
Sheriff had to shoot a guy cheating last week.
Now that Sheriff, he did shoot a man. He did kill a cheetah. It is true. Now, we must also say that unfortunate gentleman did draw first.
Oh, of course he drew first.
Fully legal in the town.
Oh, I love
You know, and it's
Sheriff.
unfortunate that we've got those bad apples that
Indeed.
give a horrible name to the rest of us.
Indeed.
Indeed.
In regards to the impression of you being the gambling type, I don't believe we've quite been acquainted. I'm the Reverend Winslow Fullerton.
Yes,
Nice
good
to meet you.
Reverend. Good Reverend. Please, you as well. Where is it that you come from? Tell us of the Reverend as a small boy. Tell us of his calling.
Truth be told, I didn't quite know this calling until semi-recently, as I was making my way from downtown through the Midwest, mostly doing ranch work, things of that like.
Ain't nothing wrong with a good day's work.
Indeed.
Hard
As I say, the Lord loves two hands at work. As my late parents told me, I was born in a town called Hamburg.
Hamburg.
Like a sandwich?
I think he's asking a serious question. Hamburg is a city in Europe, young man.
Ah!
Oh, well, I was not told what state it was in. Never quite asked him about it, but, made my way from Boston, Cincinnati, various towns all throughout the Midwest.
So Pennsylvania, then.
Mayhap.
Well, there are many Hamburgs.
I want a hamburger with cheese.
Now that is not a bad idea. Where is that girl?
Are we talking about putting cheese on top of that kind of loose meat sandwich?
Dahlia. Where is that? Where? There she is.
What?
I think we will order some food now. I apologize that we have what we are serving today, which is a rare roast beef with some vegetables and a nice gravy.
Roast beef, please.
Sounds lovely. I may. It's such a. Sounds a fine meal. Even under current circumstances, I think I could regain my appetite for that.
Very well, very well.
Are you not much of a killer, Reverend? Because you handled that rifle surprisingly well. You did a good job blowing them bandits away.
Is that so? Is that so?
Perhaps it was simply good luck, good fortune for, or maybe the Lord really was with us that day. This day.
Used to gunfighting. And I took a bullet, but you, maybe your God was with you.
Yes, the shot I took to the chest. I'm afraid my Bible that I was carrying with me didn't fare well through that.
Oh, that's a shame.
That does speak to the power of the word of God, though, does it not?
And 3 inches. And
Amen.
3 inches of paper surrounded by leather on all sides.
That as well. That as well. Then
How'd you shoot him up, Mr. Hayes? Are you a Townsend gunman?
Well, I've been known to be in a couple scraps in my life, and but let me just tell you that I kind of grew up with a pistol in my hand.
I hear that. I completely identify with what you have just said.
that speaks to a rebellious youth, does it not? I suppose
A
there
little.
must be a story or two in there.
Well, not a lot to say. I just was kind of on my own at a young age. Put it that way.
Well, that's sad.
And that's where I picked up the game.
Would explain a great deal. How, may I ask how young?
Well, I was a little larger than the hide of a grasshopper, so to speak, you know.
That's not a number.
You're absolutely right. But, yeah, I was kind of left on my own at a very young age and had to learn to do whatever I could to stay alive.
How very unfortunate for you.
Well,
Amen.
There is nothing more sad than a child without a childhood.
but it gave me the hardness that I needed to be alive today.
Were it not we lived in such a world.
Indeed, Reverend, indeed.
Now what?
You eat. Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
I eat.
That's a Laura face.
Cut to.
I'm back.
We were just
Really sweaty.
we were just very drunk well, I was very drunk, and then they were drinking in the hotel.
Cool.
Which is a perfect timing because we can cut to Dr. Cora.
Excellent.
Earlier
Oh, dear God, I apologize, internet, for this.
Oh, you're lovely. Stop it.
Indeed.
Stop it.
Yeah.
It's freaking hot outside. Anyway.
Right?
We just have to make sure that we send a drink up to her room eventually.
Not here.
Wherever she is staying, she was not brought
As when she
where we were.
As she was as the train pulled into the station, two young ladies approached you as you were attending the creature. Excuse me, miss. Hello?
Yes. Can I help you, ladies?
Yes, please. We've been instructed to ask you to please join us along with your creature to the residence of Mrs. Carmichael.
And how is it that Mrs. Carmichael knows about me and my creature so quickly after a train arrives?
Word does travel fast. Oh, I do apologize. I am Penelope. This is Lena. Penelope and Lena. We represent Mrs. Carmichael and her affairs. She is very interested in your find and may have some information to share with you.
And do you two lovely ladies intend on carrying this?
Well, not alone, of course. We do have a wagon. They point off to the side. It's a small wagon pulled by a mule.
And is Mrs. I apologize, I didn't quite catch her name.
Mrs. Carmichael.
Carmichael. Is Mrs. Carmichael knowledgeable about?
Very much so. She is a woman of science.
Always pleased to meet a fellow woman of science.
Lovely. May we then accompany you?
I would love nothing more, considering I don't know where I'm going.
Lovely. They both pick up the creature and place it in the wagon, and offer you a seat on the wagon.
I will take it.
Penelope walks to the side. And they lead you into the city of Santa Fe. They lead you down Grant Avenue to a set of buildings. To the far, in this case, it would be the map is oriented weird. We'll just go ahead and we'll call it the north western part of town.
We'll go ahead and say Cora has the same abilities of understand directions that I do, and it doesn't matter.
Yes, off the it is it looks like a fairly large a group of buildings that all seem to have a similar purpose. You're taken the wagon is drawn into this U-shaped courtyard that you can see on stream, hopefully, and they unload the creature and take it inside without a word to you. They just leave you standing there.
I'm gonna follow them, assuming that invitation extends to me.
They the door that they go through is open, and you can see that they have rounded the hallway, and they basically lead you into a fairly large room that looks like it was designed for the works of science. There are shelves with many different kinds of glass bottles of different substances in those bottles, different colors. There is a machine to one end that is making a humming noise. There is the smell in the air of ghost rock. You're very familiar with that smell.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that the two young ladies have placed the creature onto a large, what looks like a metal table. The table is slanted slightly to one end. It has some holes in it, and underneath those holes are some buckets. And you see a woman.
Oh, I'm very excited.
Let me see if I can make this work.
I know. I was gone for 30
Here we
minutes.
go.
Roll the third switch.
Wrong lever, crunk.
You see a woman. She has one of those, like a big leather apron that she's putting on. Oh, I'm just so very excited.
I see some big.
Oh yes, this is wonderful. And she steps up to the thing and she looks. Yes. She smells it. She picks up one of its arms and lets it drop. Oh, fascinating. She runs off to one of the shelves and she starts grabbing some things and holding things. The other two girls have just moved to the sides of the room as if they're waiting for instruction. Yes, this, of course, yes. Oh, yes, this, of course, yes. Wonderful.
Mrs. Carmichael.
Yes, pardon me. Oh, yes. Hello, please come. She hands you a couple of bottles. Please. Now, tell me everything. Everything you know. Tell me. She walks up to the creature.
I will tell her about how they swarmed in a large group. There did seem to be one that was larger than the others. They sounded, and I will attempt to recreate the sound.
Oh, yes, lovely.
And that it appeared as though through that sound they were able to communicate with each other. And potentially strategize.
The green. Thank you. She drips some of it on.
They also have an exceedingly hard exoskeleton.
Yeah.
Bullets were just bouncing off of them left and right. The only way that I personally saw them able to be killed was when the good Reverend shot his shotgun directly down the creature's mouth. And if you open it and look right in here, you can see that it appeared as though the bullet ricocheted inside.
She grabs the mouth and opens it and puts her head inside. And what is that? That is incredible.
Tannis?
Look. She look.
I stick my head in there. I know. I have looked.
Do you see that? Do you see it?
Do I see it?
Look. She closes it, puts it down. Ants. Hive. Ants and hives. Oh.
No.
13 sugar packets.
Ma'am, you don't have hives. You're saying that these creatures live in hives like ants.
Yes.
Oh, now I am itchy too. Oh. Mm-hmm.
Tea.
Please.
Lovely.
You don't mind, right?
Oh.
What? Oh.
Lovely. Oh.
Sorry, I like it strong.
Come. She leads you to another room. She sits down at it's not even a table. It is a log with a flat top on it that is about waist height. But she sits down on a tiny little stool next to it and places her coffee cup up on top. She can just see over the top of the log, and there's another seat of exactly the same size on the other side of the log.
I will sit. My name is Dr. Coraline Mathis. Thank you so much for your hospitality.
Of course it is, of course. I am Mrs. Carmichael. I
am Mrs. Carmichael.
Indeed, I am. Thank you. So, tell me of your experience.
This wingnut crazy.
You mean the experience with the creature or experience?
No. Your experience. Oh, fine. I am Mrs. Carmichael.
I am Dr. Coraline Mathis. Mrs. Dr. Coraline. I never know what order to put those in, but I'm Mrs. as well.
Dr. Mrs. Coraline. Dr. Mrs. Coraline. Mathis. Dr. Mrs. Mrs. Doctor. So, Mrs.
I prefer
Doctor.
Dr. Mrs.
Dr. Mrs. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Tell me of your experience.
Oh, I studied at university, found a substance in my travels through California, very strange substance, which I believe you two have found.
So strange.
So strange. It has a very distinct smell,
properties.
doesn't it? Mm-hmm.
Oh, the smell. Oh, it's so strange.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I dabbled with it a bit.
These chicks talking about meth, right?
I like to taste it.
Really?
Have you tasted it? It's in the tea.
Then yes, I have now. I have tasted it. Mm-hmm. It is
I think you're hired.
good. I look forward to working with you.
As do I. I work with myself all the time, and it's marvelous.
Well, it will be fun to add to your repertoire.
It will be fun. It will. Shall we begin? Come.
Right away.
Come.
Mm-hmm.
She takes you back into the other room, and that is where we will end today's episode.
I love her.
Thank
I can't wait
you.
to turn into her.
Absolutely batshit insane.
That's what happens, yo. Mad scientists.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in for today's episode of Deadlands. Durnk Deadlands. To live and die in
Yes,
Santa Fe.
Oh my, yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us, and thank you, Chad.
Yeah.
Woo! That was super fun. Thanks very much. So, we're back on Sunday. I will not be back. I unfortunately do not get to game on the Sundays. But Mike, you take that.
Yes. Yeah, Sunday we'll be back with A Distant Star. Then Wednesday, Crosden, and Thursday we'll be back with this. Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, every week.
Come hang out with us. All right,
Yay!
everybody. We'll see you later. We're going to end the
Adios.
stream now. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Post in Discord if you try the Children's Delight.
Oh God, don't do it.
Did
Let's see
anybody
reactions.
Did
For
anybody
the
put the
love of
Discord
God,
link?
no, that is holy. Do not try
Discord
cream
link.
and whiskey.
Discord link.
Did anybody put the Discord Discord link? The Durnk?
I posted the link once. We can
Awesome.
certainly post it
Let's
again.
post it again before we end stream.
Copy pasta.
Awesome. But yes, thanks for hanging out. It's super fun. We're gonna do more stuff, and all that. I don't know. I'm filling time. Help me out here.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Are we done?
Sorry,
Okay.
I had to step away for a few moments
Yeah, you did.
there.
There
Okay.
it is.
Okay. Links up. Okay. Bye, everybody. Okay. Here we go.
Goodbye.